Oh boy. Welcome back, or welcome if you've been here, never been here before, welcome. Hello everybody, all you new people out there. I'm Jimmy and this is First Gen Mini Rescue. I point to that because that's the mini, but right now I had to rescue this van today. Let me explain that one after I get to the fortune. And for those of you all who are new, every video I read a fortune from Fortune Cookie Wisdom, Words to Live By. I compiled this book during COVID, trying to clean up the house because I had little fortunes stashed all over the house. So I compiled it in a book. It's available on Amazon, although it's not sponsored, but you can read one fortune a week for 2 years. So if you watch this channel for 2 years, I would have gone through all the fortunes, and then either there'll be a second book or you gotta start watching again or whatever. Anyway, let me read the fortune. It says, oh, it's easy, short one. Vary your friendships. Vary your friendships. In other words, don't have the same friends that do the same thing, all the same, all the time, and that's all you do. Vary them. Have some friends that do different things. Stuff falling out of the trees. Different things. You know, some friends do boating stuff. Some friends do snowboarding stuff. Vary them. Have different ones. It's not, you don't want to eat the same meal every day. You want a little variety. Anyway, Anyway, okay. So as you know, Sharon and I went on a road trip. We were gone for about 9 days. However, the van was parked up front in front of the boat for, probably a good week or so before we left. So it's probably been parked 3 weeks. I don't know. We only use it maybe once every 30 days whenever we need it. I use it to tow the trailer. I use it to tow the boat. And sometimes if I got to go to Lowe's to pick up lumber or Home Depot, none of those are sponsored, just examples. I take the van because we don't have a pickup truck. So anyway, and it's long. It's 22 feet long. So if I need a 16-foot board, I can slide it under the seats that are there and all the way to the front. And it'll be fine inside, dry. I use it for storage. I've got stuff back there stored. Anyway, so it was parked up front and I wanted to move it back here so I can put the minis up front so I can decide which one I drive and I can just drive straight out the driveway. The van would not start. I turned the key and I got nothing. I got no clicking, no, like you got a low dead battery or anything. None of that. My initial thought was the battery. This van is a 2013. It has the original batteries. We have two. We have the auxiliary battery that's under the hood in this location. And we have the original starting battery that's under the driver's feet. So there's you got to unscrew and then you take up the little thing and the battery sits under there. That's the starting battery. Those are all original to this vehicle. So, and they're AGM batteries, absorbed glass mat. So, but they probably should have been replaced. However, I plug them in on a trickle charger that's a maintainer that every time, when I park the van after I use it, I plug it in. It's a dual battery charging system, so it handles both batteries separately, not together. So I have one lead that goes to the auxiliary battery and one lead that goes to the starting battery in there. And I have might as well lift this. I have the cord for the battery charger under the hood so that I can do what I just did, lift the hood and plug and unplug the battery charger. So, and the brand, it's not sponsored, but the brand is Battery Tender, 2 battery tender. The one on the van here is not waterproof. It sits in the floor under the dashboard, and I'll show it to you, but it maintains the batteries fine. So I thought that was my issue. That was not the issue. I turned the headlights on, they were nice and bright. Everything seemed to be, all the dashboard lights came on, no problem. However, I turned the key, I got nothing. The radio did not work. That's strange. What else didn't work? The signal lights did not work. Yeah, that's strange, even with the key in the on position. However, the hazard lights did work. So I did some research, and everyone talked about these relays that are above the fuse box. There's four basically, I'm getting bit by a mosquito. There's basically four relays behind a panel on the dash that if the van sits or if you get a little moisture from, like for us, it's humidity. For some people, if they're traveling in their van and it's cold, they get condensation on their windshield or whatever. So yeah, they suggested change the relays and maybe even your brake switch. So I went to Mercedes this morning. I got 3 of the 4 relays that they suggested replacing. One, I had to order it. It should be here Saturday. And then they did have the brake switch in stock. So I bought that. So I didn't know which one was causing the problem. Let me show you where they are and the rest of the stuff I wanted to show you. Okay. In here, this black cord, it's my extension cord, but this black cord goes through the firewall down somewhere, or here, goes through the firewall in here and into the vehicle. I leave my extension cord over the mirror so that a visual reminder that it's plugged in before I just get in and drive off. So that's why I put that over the mirror. Okay, there's my battery tender. It's blinking because this one battery, this is the starter battery, which I have as bank 1, and that's bank 2, which is my auxiliary battery. It's green, it's full. Orange light indicates that it's charging. So that's the brand. That's what I have, a dual charger. The other battery lives under here, so you have to take these out and then you can lift the panel and you'll have access to that battery. Under here, this is the hood release. This is where the fuse box is under there. Let me go get you some light. Okay, there's a little shadow, but anyway, you'll see it. But anyway, this locks in place. You just push and twist. It's a twist lock, so you untwist it. You can open it up. That's your fuse box. That's one of them. For those of you with Sprinters also, under here, there's a fuse box behind here. Obviously, you do these two. There we go. You lift up and you drop it. There's a fuse box under there. Okay, so we won't need that one. But then this panel, there's a screw that lives, in there. I took it out already. It's a T25. And when you take that screw out, then you just pull this panel out and down. Out and down. Now, inside, all the way in the back, you see the yellow on the right. There's one on the right, yellow, top or in plain view. And then there's 2 of the grays that say 052. And then there's one more underneath. Let me see if I can show you without causing too much distress. Kind of like on the bottom of there's the gray one. So there's 2 gray right in plain view, and then one underneath, and then the yellow one that's on the top. See if I can. Anyway, the yellow one I have not replaced yet because that one is on order. But let's see if I can pull it from behind. Right there. That's the 3rd gray one. So what I did was I took the first one on the left left-hand side, took that one out, replaced it with a new one. The van still would not start. I went to that gray one, pulled it out, put the new one in, van started right up. And so I pulled it back out, put the old one back in, van would not start. So that was my issue. So I put the new one back, van started right up. Just for laughs, I changed that one as well. So I will keep the original of this one and the original of this one. I know it's a little dark back there, but I'll keep those two in the glove compartment for emergencies. They all have the same part number. Yeah. So, but that's what I did. And that's what got the van started. And it started no problems. So that was my issue. Okay, that indeed was my issue. They said when these vans sit or when the vehicle sits and there's high moisture inside, sometimes those relays get a little crusty where the contacts don't make contact. I am gonna disassemble. I have the original one here. Now, this is what, let's see. I'm gonna see how close I can get you guys to see, but I'm gonna explain it. It says, this one is a Hella, H-E-L-L-A brand. It has the Mercedes emblem. Now this is original equipment. And then the part number, but it says made in China. So not saying anything about that. It's worked since 2013. Well, actually 2012 when the van was built, because we got it January of 2013. So, I mean, it's worked. It's an OEM part, original manufacturing part. So it came with the van. The new one has a new number that superseded the old one. On here, the last two numbers is 2619. And on the brand new one, the last four numbers are 1619. Same part. I got it from the Mercedes dealership. The new part is made in Portugal. So there you go. I don't know. Take that for what you will. But this is what, let me see if you can see. So there you go. So a simple relay fixed, the issue of the not starting. What I'm gonna do is go inside the house and open this one up. I don't know what I'm looking for. Maybe look between the contacts to see what it looks like. I've heard some people open them up. Now they're supposed to be non-serviceable, but I've heard some people, I researched anyway, some people open them up and clean the contacts with electronic cleaner and a little fine, like 2000 grit sandpaper in between the contacts, almost like you used to have to do points back in the day. If you're old enough like me, you know about points in your distributor. Anyway, look it up if you don't know. But yeah, so I'm gonna try that and just to look inside. This one, I'm gonna throw it away. This is the bad one. The other two, they were probably good. They could have been good, don't know, because nothing changed when I put the new one in. Anyway, those will go in the glove compartment or in a storage place or whatever. And I'll keep a T25, because that's the size of the screw that takes that panel off. So for the tool kit for the van, I'll definitely have a T25 in there. And yeah, so if this ever happens, it's a 5-6 minute thing, and I know which one to change first. So, and I'll put a picture up, and it shows the four that are usually the culprits, as some people say. Anyway, so that's it. Thank y'all for watching. I'm gonna have more video on the mini road trip that we took to the Denver area, Aurora, Colorado. I showed the picture at the end of going down that 21-mile gravel road, and that almost, it might have scared one person off from doing that. Don't be afraid. There's car washes on both sides of the road. You can get your car washed. If it's not a convertible, if it's a regular R53, close your windows, put your air on. You'll be fine. Go off road. Why not? Anyway, I'll see y'all later, and have fun with your minis, and when your other vehicles don't start, don't panic. Don't panic. Research, trial and error, a little bit of money. You'll get it fixed. All right. Bye, y'all.